The upcoming news conference looms large. It's a chance to regain control of the narrative, to reassure a nation on edge. But it's also fraught with risk. One misstep could further erode public confidence. The stakes have never been higher. Political analyst, a sense of foreboding hangs over Washington. Critics circle, eager to pounce on any sign of weakness. Allies watch with bated breath, hoping for reassurance. The world holds its breath, waiting to see if the leader of the free world can right the ship. This is a make-or-break moment for President Biden. His legacy and the fate of the nation may hang in the balance. The rising cost of living is a constant worry for many. Gas prices soar, making the daily commute a financial burden. Groceries are more expensive, putting a strain on family budgets. The American dream feels increasingly out of reach. Economic expert media economic analysts discussing Biden's economic policies on news panel. Biden's economic policies are under fire. Critics argue they've fueled inflation. They point to trillions in government spending. They say it's time to tighten the purse strings. The administration counters that they're tackling the problem. They highlight efforts to ease supply chain disruptions. They talk about investments in clean energy and infrastructure. But for many Americans, the pain is real and they're looking for relief. The war in Ukraine rages on. Millions are displaced. The specter of nuclear escalation looms. Biden has rallied international support for Ukraine. He's provided billions in military and humanitarian aid, but the conflict shows no signs of abating. Political correspondent media, China assertiveness in South China Sea, Taiwan, tension protests. China's growing assertiveness presents another challenge. Tensions simmer over Taiwan. Trade disputes continue to fester. Biden has sought to strike a balance with China. Cooperation on issues like climate change, competition in areas like technology and trade. But the relationship remains fraught with risk. From the Middle East to the Korean Peninsula, other foreign policy hotspots demand attention. The world is looking to America for leadership, but with so many crises competing for attention, it's a delicate balancing act. Section 4. Party discord. Democrats divided. Internal divisions within the Democratic Party are adding to Biden's woes. From progressive Democrats pushing for bold action to moderate Democrats urging caution, finding common ground is proving difficult.
The progressive wing of the party, energized by figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, wants to see Biden deliver on his campaign promises. They're pushing for ambitious legislation on climate change, healthcare, and social justice. They argue that Democrats need to deliver tangible results to maintain the support of their base.
Moderate Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are wary of pushing too far, too fast. They're concerned about the impact of large spending bills on the deficit. They're also mindful of the political realities of a closely divided Senate. Their votes are crucial for Biden to pass his agenda.
These internal divisions have made it difficult for Biden to enact his legislative priorities. The Build Back Better Act, a cornerstone of his domestic agenda, remains stalled in Congress. This lack of progress has frustrated many Democrats and raised questions about Biden's ability to unite his party.
Section 5 High Stakes, the upcoming news conference. The upcoming news conference takes on outsized importance. It's a chance for Biden to address the nation directly, to allay fears, to project strength and leadership. The world will be watching.
The pressure is on. Biden must convince Americans he has a handle on the challenges facing the nation. He needs to address their economic anxieties. He needs to reassure them about America's standing in the world. He needs to project confidence and competence.
The questions will be tough. Reporters will grill him on inflation, Ukraine, and his legislative agenda. They'll be looking for signs of weakness, any indication that he's losing his grip on the presidency.
This is Biden's chance to reset the narrative, to regain control of the message, to show Americans that he's up to the job. But it's a high-wire act. One misstep could send his presidency into a tailspin.
Section 6. A crossroads for Biden charting a path forward. The news conference could be a turning point for Biden's presidency. A strong performance could restore confidence and give him momentum. A weak showing could further erode public support and embolden his critics.
This is a critical moment for President Biden. He needs to show Americans that he understands the challenges they're facing and that he has a plan to address them.
Some experts believe Biden needs to focus on kitchen table issues like inflation and jobs. They argue that he needs to connect with voters on an emotional level, showing that he understands their struggles.
People are hurting right now. They need to know that the president feels their pain.
Others say Biden needs to project strength on the world stage. They argue that he needs to take a tougher stance against Russia and China.
The world is a dangerous place right now. Biden needs to show that he's up to the challenge of leading America in a time of global turmoil.
The path forward is fraught with challenges, but the stakes are too high for Biden to fail. The fate of his presidency and perhaps the nation hangs in the balance.